What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel and another video. So as some of my subscribers may know, I'm a massive aficionado of an anime mobile game called Girls Frontline. Like, I created an over half-hour video guide on getting into the game even though I knew the game is already dead, so the video would just be watched by other GFL players looking for any misinformation I have so they can comment on the video. Well, actually, Eango, like, congrats Dungeon Guardian 745, you did get me. I did misspeak in a major way on Grape Carcana. Anyways, point is, I'm a massive aficionado of GFL, made a couple bids and stream the game often if there's an event, so obviously ever since I saw news of Girls Frontline 2, I just couldn't wait to play the game and make videos on it. Oh wait, audible gasp. So since its release in China about a week ago, Girls Frontline 2 has been getting review bombed, which we've seen quite frequently with other anime mobile games in the past. But usually the reason is very boring, like bad rates or censorship, like yawn, players are upset about their boob sizes again. Not interested, next. I'm just bored of that type of drama. Luckily, the reason for review bombing Girls Frontline 2 is a lot more creative and funny. The reason players are review bombing this game is because they feel like they got cucked by an NPC that's not even in the game anymore. Let me just repeat that again since I know it sounds absurd. Majority of the review bombing from the CN player base relates to them feeling like they got cuckolded from a fictional, non-existent NPC character. And I really just want to browse the general CN player base comments myself and revel in the comedy. But before I indulge myself in that, I will first catch you all up on the drama, and to do that first we need to go back to Girls Frontline 1 and its oath system. So in Girls Frontline, you basically play as a commander whose subordinates are a bunch of humanoid robot sex dolls with guns, and you all work at a PMC called Griffin. You're basically Andrew Tate, except you didn't have to buy a Bugatti to fuck mid-bitches, you just joined a PMC to fuck hot gun robots instead. And obviously, the game allows you to practice polygamy and marry multiple of your guns with what is called an oath ring. It's honestly just some dumb side thing unrelated to the main story of the game, but oathing will increase your stats and also just enhance your fantasy of having a sex doll gun waifu or whatever. Well, unfortunately, it appears that a lot of players in China took this marriage very seriously with the T-doll Type 95. Who happens to be very popular in China due to her being based on a Chinese assault rifle. Keep the name 95 in mind as she is going to be the cucktress in this story. So now we get into Girls Frontline 2, and what the setup to the sequel is that the Griffin PMC disbands and the commander, which again is you the player, and his dolls go separate ways. Then, the actual story in Girls Frontline 2 is a time skip to 10 years later after the PMC disbands. So, in many of the doll's story events, a good part of the lore will be what the doll was up to during those 10 years. And unfortunately, Type 95, whose name is changed to Diane in the sequel, was not faithful to her oath ring. Basically, what happened is that during Diane's introduction event to GF2 in the closed beta test, she had a bunch of dialogue with another NPC named Raymond. So Raymond is this Giga Chad right here, and the astute viewer will take notice that Raymond is of the male gender. And though there was no confirmation of any sexual relationship between Diane and Raymond, the CN players still found it to be too ambiguous. But most insultingly to CN players, from the data mine of 1.5 hours of Diane voice, 66 mentions of Raymond appeared, 50 of which used Diane's unique name for Raymond, Mr. Raymond. I just want to help Mr. Raymond. I think Mr. Raymond has carried too much psychological baggage in this incident. The number of times the player code commander appeared was 0. Now, everything I've covered so far was drama from about a month ago during closed beta test, and since then, our Lord and Savior Raymond was deleted from the game and replaced by a female NPC. I think her name is Lily or something. And you would think the story ends here with the ambiguous straight relationship being replaced by the ambiguous lesbian relationship. Surely that would make everyone happy. Well, unfortunately, it did not, and actually the opposite happened, as after Diane's release, players took notice of a curious change in her design from the original closed beta test. So when paused around 37 seconds into the PV, players took notice of this interesting pendant on Diane's left wrist that did not exist during the closed beta release of her. and upon inspection of the pendant, it looks like a bolt of lightning. And what the genius theory crafters over on CN deduce was that if there is lightning, then there also must be thunder. And if you notice the character for thunder in Chinese, and you type in Raymond, Raymond shares the character of thunder in his name. And this has caused the CN player base to go full autistically unhinged, and that's where we are right now. So honestly, for the rest of this video, I just want to revel in the comedy that is the CN player base comment sections. Here's a disclaimer. Just remember that 95 and Diane refers to the same humanoid doll. Well, let's just start on the Billy game store and see what the reviewers are writing. Let's put it this way, this character was ruined by your official hands. The key has been completely destroyed. It's the kind of thing that can't be saved, no matter how hard it is saved. Really, go and ask. There is no man in the world who is willing to spend money to support other people's wives. I sincerely advise players who like 95, for her own good, to leave this game and ignore it. If no one plays, it will fend for itself. If no one plays a service game, it will not survive. This is a misunderstanding, it's not what you think. I just simply like the atmosphere. Raymond asked me to go. They're all best friends. It's very simple to drink. Ignore Mr. Raymond. I can't help I'm thinking like this. I don't know my best friend. I'll tell you when I get home. I didn't even talk to Mr. Raymond. It's really just the atmosphere. Mr. Raymond just ignored me. Rub it, wear it. 1 millimeter means keeping a distance. Mr. Raymond took it off while I wasn't paying attention. I took medicine afterwards. I just made a mistake that normal girls would make. Don't worry, the child is definitely yours. Maybe I ate too much soy sauce during pregnancy. Putting myself into the perspective of the commander, I felt that 95 was interested in Mr. Raymond. Then I realized I was the commander. The clown is actually me. I was sworn to you in my first year. How can I feel so embarrassed? Was this copy written by a female writer who hates the harem and advocates the great institution of monogamy? Finally, I accidentally recharged the monthly card, but I don't want to help support other people's wives. Can I apply for a refund if I'm a minor? I can understand that you want Humanoid to have its own life, to enrich the characters and make the plot more vivid. But buddy, this is not a humanoid having its own life. This is a humanoid having its own love. After watching P90, Jeonju, and Diane, the humanoid can have a story. But why is that story inseparable from love and cuckoldry? Originally, I was planning to play it, but when I saw it, yesterday's score was a 6.2. In just 1 second, it became a 6.0. I went on the internet and searched for Mrs. Raymond. It shocked me as a mere passerby. Damn it, the score is 5.9 now. Thank you to everyone in the comment section. I gave up on the idea of downloading this game. I do not want to buy other people's wives. The plot written by the writing team is true poop. Is it because the cerebellum is not developed well enough that it can no longer have basic thinking logic? Writing such unnatural things is purely to treat everyone as a fool, right? P.S. Writing team thinks it's fun to write poop, right? I think it's also fun to give a 1-star rating. Whose wife is this? 95 is innocent. In my heart, 95 is loyal, reliable, brave, and tenacious as a warrior. Now the character of Diane is just a character holding a 95 gun. It doesn't matter who holds a 95. Everyone just acquiesces in the combination of weapons and humanoids. Bound together, I don't think so. But you, Yongzong, and the shitty writing team have connected the weapon of protecting the masses with your dirty, vulgar taste and Western corrupt cultural ideas. With our sacred weapon. You really treat the players as fools to make money. Go fuck yourself. 95 is 95. Diane is Diane. Jagger was right about humanoids. Hold on, what is this? Oh, I see. So the CN players are hardcore simping Jagger now. Okay, so to explain this quickly, Jagger was an antagonist in Girls Frontline 1 who basically believed T-dolls, which are the AI humanoids you command, are deadly and disposable weapons that cannot replace true human comrades. And in-game, you the commander are more like, no Jagger, my weird gun sex doll things would never betray me. But now that the Rizmaster Mr. Raymond has metaphorically thrusted his 8-inch cock into Type 95, the CN player base is just circle jerking how right Jagger was all along now. In the dimly lit tavern, the down-and-out commander smelling of alcohol looked at 95, who was talking and laughing with Mr. Raymond not far away. After the last sip of the inferior beer in the cup, he buried his once proud head deeply into his hands on the wall. The figure of the respectable soldier flashed in his mind. Jagger, come with me, and rushed towards the military again. Mr. Raymond, Mr. Raymond, Mr. Raymond, Mr. Raymond, Mr. Raymond, Mr. Raymond, Mr. Raymond. The humanoid is indeed untrustworthy. Brother Yi is right. Only death can separate Jagger from his loyal men. But for the commander, all it takes is one Raymond. Commander Griffin, but you were betrayed by 95 10 years later. Oh, they're getting married, so sad. I hope when doing it with Raymond, he can call me by my name so I can feel a little involved. Former Griffin legendary commander, but the Type 95 betrayed you. I would rather see 95 sacrifice herself rather than become Mrs. Raymond, because she is not that kind of person. She cannot fall in love with a terrorist. She is a warrior who protects the people. This is not her. Raymond. Look, Commander, this is how 95 is used.